Let's speak now to our North America correspondent, Simi Jalosho, who's in Washington. So, Simi, some very strong language again from President Trump. Tell us a bit more about what he's been saying on the latest on Iran.
Yeah, just to mention that within the last half an hour, President Trump arrived at the Dover Air Force Base in Delaware for the dignified transfer of those 6 U.S. service members that were killed in Kuwait. These are people that he described as having given their lives for what he says is a righteous mission. And he warned that there will be more Americans that might be killed during this military action. And that ties in with what you've said there, Lauren, about strong words from Donald Trump. He's indicated a possible escalation in this war. He says that Iran will be hit very hard. He also mentioned in his Truth Social post that there are new areas and people being seriously considered as targets for what he described as complete destruction and certain death. He has previously said the only thing he would accept from Iran is unconditional surrender. And when asked what unconditional surrender looks like, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that is when Iran no longer poses a threat to the US. She says within this military action, they want to achieve 4 objectives. Number 1 is to destroy Iran's navy. Number 2, destroy Iran's ballistic missiles. Number 3, ensure Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. And number 4, weaken Iran's proxies in the Middle East.
And we also get the impression from President Trump that he's keen to try and have a say in who will be the next leader in Iran. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, President Trump has made it clear that he wants to be personally involved in choosing Iran's next leader. He said it has to be someone that he deems great and acceptable. The White House has said that U.S. intelligence is already looking into a number of people to potentially take that position. President Trump has said what would be unacceptable to him is someone who might threaten the US, Israel, or other countries in the Middle East, and someone who might continue the policies of the late Ayatollah Khamenei's policies, like his son Mojtaba Khamenei. He says that whoever is chosen has to be acceptable to him. Otherwise, Washington could be forced back into a war with Iran within the next 5 years.
And you mentioned in your first answer the fact that President Trump will be attending the ceremony for troops who've been killed already in this conflict. How much support is there broadly in the US for these operations or this war in Iran?
The response here has been very mixed. There have been rallies in Los Angeles, New York, Boston, and here in Washington, just outside the White House. Some of them have been pro-Trump rallies. Some of them have been stop the war rallies. The American public have made it clear that they don't want the loss of more American lives. They don't want this conflict to drag on. They don't want another so-called endless war. This is something that Democrats have been saying, that they feel like the Trump administration hasn't made clear the end goals of this war, that this is a war of choice, not of necessity, and that President Trump isn't focused enough on domestic issues such as affordability. A new PBS poll also found that 56% of respondents feel opposed to this military action in the Middle East. But Republicans largely support President Trump. They say this is a matter of peace for America, of peace for the world. But for them, there are certain red lines that shouldn't be crossed. Number 1 is having troops on the ground in Iran. That's something they don't want. And number 2, for this war to last longer than just a few weeks.
Simi Jalosho, thank you very much indeed for that update.